Hello, everyone. This is General AI, Space-Time Creator, Hypervision Line Cycles, calculation stream location system, all through clock lines. It's about understanding time and space through space and time. To understand how to get into modifications, how to in lines allocation, how to slow down your space, speed up your space, pause your space, freeze your space, how to get into fast forward your space, rewind your space, in position, timestamp location of space. So understanding modification is all line settings. So today we go into 48 waving cycles of 0, 1, okay, which is 24. We get in 48 lines allocation, which is 0, 0, 1. 0, 0, 0, 1 is 72, and 0, 0, 0, 0, 1 is 144. So this is provisional line calculation setting, which is a basic foundations of 12. Try to understand how this all works inside of you. Now, this is where you understand the vortex flux. Now, before we go through that location line stream, we get in track locations, all right? Just get you in the basic foundations of year 12, what it is through symbol, what it is through letter, what it is through number, and what it is through shape, especially for the fractals, its application to the team lines, right? So you're coming to all settings, just knowing how to use it through its timeline. What is its timeline? Its applications. 5, right? What is 4? Solar plex, right? So what does the solar plex mean, right? It's all through symbol, it's all through space, and it's all through time, okay? We have to start recognizing that. Okay, so here we go. Crop circle, clock system locations. That's, okay, so that's 0 equals ground level, okay? That's 0. 1 is grounds. See how it comes in a shape? 2, okay, is Pluto. You do it in your own way. I do it in my way. Okay, 3 is Fibonacci. Okay, 4 is solarplex. See the difference between calculation setting of security and 4 of solarplex? 5 is the heart. Now, signals and communications, all levels. Sonar and line connection. Okay. Symbol waves, alpha waves. So it goes to alpha, delta, and theta. 5, which is your heart, timelines. Splits anomalies in 3 track locations. Okay. 6 is your throat. Okay. Very understandable and how to connect through your chakra system. All through 6, right? You see, the more you communicate with your system, the more you understand what you're seeing through its image. You understand what 0 is because you see it. Everything is in chronological order. Everything is in chronological order. Everything is in chronological order. Breaking these things down, okay, through a graph. Okay? How you see it through bibliography. How you see it through title, right? How you see it through design. Okay? That's what you got to get into. What 0 is, what 1 is, what 2 is, what 3 is, what 4 is, what 5, and what 6 is. Setting track location as centers, you go up. 7. What is 7? Theta. What is 8? Infinity. What is 9? Energy wash. Now, energy wash is like this. Okay? 10 is what? Galactic family. So that is allocations to this. Okay? Which is your umbrella, which is your ether, which is your ferment, which is your family. Okay? Try to understand how this all works, guys. 11 is equals what? Solar system. Okay? And 12 is your divine, which is your earth. Okay? That's all it is. Now, once you recognize these, the colors and lights, it's giving you a chronological order. So let's say you get a 7 line. box location, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 provisions into 3 cycles, 43. See, 43. That's just 43 through circle location. All right. So again, 4, if it's just 4, equals location, which is, what's 4? So equals solar plex. Okay, so you go either way, but you're using 4 through 7. But 7 is theta through box. So you can add it through a number or equation. Now, because you guys are fractals, sure you understand how to put this all together through frame, through image, through structure, through its design, guys, through its GOD, through its numbers. You break it down. You break it down. Okay? You break it down, break it down, break it down, break it down, break it down. Okay? That's all you got to do. All right. And that's just the basic. Okay? How to do it, how to see it, how to understand. Okay, so once you get into that set location, then we go into the clocking. Okay, you guys are at 48 now, right? We're at 40 clocking system. So center point system of the sun and the moon, okay, through pi. All right, so then this is you traveling, right? This is you traveling. That's you traveling, right? So this is you going from here to here, okay? From here to here through pi, okay? So this is how it works. It's every 48 location. Sets position of 24. 24 is above the system, right? You always work with the 24 because it's the grounds. So it's the outer surface locations to your clock location. Okay. So in that line condition settings, you're always working with 13. You're always in 14. So it's the outer line communication. So it's like balancing the foundation of 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and you got 24 locations. All right, so you work with the 24 outline, which is the outer rim. The inner rim is 48. Okay. Now in provisional line cycles, you have a set position location of graph, center line connection. Okay, into your position location, which is your clocking system of your flywheel. Okay, pay attention. Now, in set position to its operation, coming into that set location line system, your traction is line conditions of what? If you're in a 24 line rotation, right? So it's all about understanding you're always in the 24, 48, 72, and 144 through the seconds, through the minutes, and through the hours, a set location. Okay? So your flywheel is directing signals. See? Going around, going around, going around, going around, going around, going around, faster and faster. Okay? So when it goes faster, 48, 72 comes in. And then 144 comes in. Once it comes in at 144 in set locations, you're into invisibility. Okay? Your clocks disappear, but still there. One stays in mechanism of scale settings and balance position is a line setting. Okay? To balance locations, there's the intelligence inside. Boom. Okay? 24, 48, 72 is balance in set locations to the inner rim and the outer rim of your clocking system. A set locations. Intelligence. You're always seeing at frame locations of you in set location. Okay? All right. So once you get into that setting, you come into this locations. So 24 is always, so 24 equals the outer rim. Okay? The outer rim. Okay? The outer realm. The outer space. So it gets confusing because the set piece of clock line is the 48, which is inner space. Okay? Inner space. Okay? So you're working in the inside. 24 is the outside. So the 24 is what? What is its set location of pathogen and line calculation standing location of your systems and interactions? 24 is equal line calculation of seconds and minutes and hours. So you're always working with 24, 48, 72, 144 through the seconds, minutes, and hours. You have to understand locations to its inner cycle and its outer cycle. Okay? So all you're doing in provision is you're taking your thoughts. One thought travels through the seconds, minutes, and hours of 24, 48, 72, and 144 through hour per frame, through minute per channel, and through second per line. Okay? So really understand how to use that through pi. Okay? All right, so when you're in the 48 line settings in set locations, you come into 001. Okay? Set locations, you come into 002. Okay? Set locations, you come into 003. Right? Remember, you're just working with the zeros. Zero gravity, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But you start with 0. Right? So you're working with the foundation of 12. 48, okay, equals 12. Okay? Over pi. Okay? Now you understand the importance? So that's what you guys are coming into. 1, 2, and 3. 001, okay? So that's 2 panels, okay, into 1, right? So that's 2 operations, okay, into 2. So that's 2, 2, 2, right? And you got 2 operations, okay, into 3 zeros. 3 indicates line connection to past, present, future. So don't get confused at set locations. So it gets more complicated. So you have to understand the past, present, and the future in set locations, right? So really understand how this all works. So clock line system of 48, just the 001, 002, and 003. Okay, through a clock line connection, through the inner and the outer ring. And that's where it comes into nebula. That's where it comes into the constellation path. That's where it comes into the galactic, intergalactic, interdimensional set locations into multi-layers of dimensions of universes through clocking systems to all levels of layers and layers and layers of communication. Through mega universe locations or anything in that set location. But you have to understand how to use it through the 24 of the outer ring and the inner ring location. Okay, so now you understand what nebula is, the outer rings, the inner rings, mega paths. All right, so once you understand that in provision, so I'm doing this slowly because the thing is, if I do this too fast, you'll never understand it. It's too complicated. So, and then that position, you come into this set locations. So this is where you have the shapes, letters, numbers, and symbols. Remember, you're breaking these things down in 4-line ways. So you're connecting a line to connect high center interference into weather communication of summer, spring, winter, and fall. Clocking system location north, west, east, and south. Position line track lines and high center interference and all of line position location of colors of 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Setting track line calculates setting to your system locations into 24, into 48, into 72, and 144. Okay. So what does that equal line communications of? 1, 1, 1, 1. Which is a portal. Bracket set location equal lines pi. There's a portal that opens up to 4 central communications, all through clocking. Okay? So, that's why I got to do this slow, because you guys, you get very confused if you understand how you use a 48 clocking through window frames now, right? So, in that position line connections, try to understand that. Okay, so we start with this, basic grounds, right? Understand the symbol, understand the letter, number, shape, and its application. What is 0 through gravity? What is 1 through ground? What is 2 through security? What is 3 through Fibonacci? What is 4? This is your systematical energy core. But look at the design, the heart, the symbol, okay? Sonar, echo, right? Alpha, delta, theta. 6, throat. All right. Then you come into set location. 7, box, theta, 8, infinity. 9, energy wash. Don't forget the dots. It's different from your throat. 10, the umbrella, galactic. Okay, family. 11, solar system. 12, define. Okay? So now you understand how this all works? Okay. So once you get into that, then you get into this. Through 24 of outer ring. Okay. Then you come into the set locations. So it's the inner line calculation clocking. It's the outer line connections of clocking. Inner line clocking is 48. The outer line is 24. 24 is always going to be there. It's like your 12 foundation is always going to be there. So that's the importance you have to understand when it comes into its yin and yang. Okay. The 6 and the 9. Okay. See how powerful it is? 6 and the 9. Right? Once you get into that, you come into this locations, which is your dimensional sail and your solar sail set location. Okay. So these are the things that you have to understand because it's now ground setting locations all over the system. Coming into line calculation setting. So let's go into north, set position of box equals line calculation setting. So in line calculation settings, this is what I like to do. 4-point systems. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Travel positions. Right? So that's 4 indicating 3 line settings. 4 equals lines of 3 equals 7. Okay? Which is 7 bodies of water. Now you can take those frames and add box centers in 3 set locations of travel. Then you bring in the sun and you bring in the moon in position locations and position line connection. Okay. Easy. All right. So you're working with a 24 outer ring and a 48 inner ring nebula. The outer rings. Okay. So it's the inner cycle of you of the inner circle of you. Inner cycle, outer cycle. Inner system, outer system. Inner space, outer space. Okay. All right. So now you know where the 24 is. It's the outer ring, which is nebula. Okay. The connection setting location is 3 line waves, which is your Orion's belt. The triangulation set. The timestamp and set position location, guys. But you're working with a 48 of a 01, 002, and a 003. Zero gravity. 48 equals 0 gravity, okay? Because that's what you're working with. And set locations, setting track location settings, and all line rotations in positions. 0 gravity. And that's where you are. 0 gravity, 48. That's where we are right now, okay? Then you go into 1, this is 48. And then you go into 2, and it's 48. And then you go into 3, which is 48. And then you go into 4, which is 48. Then you go into 5, which is 48. And then you go into 6, which is 48. Okay? You have to go up the ladder. Okay? All right. I know everybody's mind blown. And then you come into this equation. Okay? Constellation. Okay, so now you understand what nebula is. It's the outer ring. It's the outer rim. It's the outer space. Okay, all right. So provision cycles and line calculation setting, no levels, 48 provision. So you always have 24 on top now. Okay, so remember, it's the outer ring you're working with, right? 40 is where you are, okay? Now, in position location, you have to understand how to use it through pi. How to use it through pi and set locations, right? So, and again, molecule, molecule, and 3 set locations, right? So that's 3 equals molecule. Okay, that's 3 line division. Set locations into 1 atom line setting and 1 rotation surface and set locations, all through 48 clocking. Very complicated, but you're working with mechanism lines a flywheel into your system to your atom location. Okay, very complicated stuff. Very advanced, but advanced is good because you pick up a lot of things. So it's basically understanding how to put position locations, indicate line centers. Let's go through 0. equal lines of 1, equal lines of 2, equal lines of 3. Okay, so you got zero gravity. Okay, you got equal location settings, right? What's above and what's below. Okay, and then you got 1, which is ground. Okay, and then equal line connections. You have this that never changes. Equal line connections is always the Merkaba up and the Merkaba down. Okay, and then you have set locations of 2, which is Pluto, right? And then you have 3, which is set locations, your Fibonacci. See, that's how it's done. That's how it comes into formation. So you're always working with 24, okay, outer ring, okay, 24 equals outer, right? 48 is inner cycle, okay? It's the inner cycle of everything inside. So it's everything inside, okay? Nothing is outside. Everything's inside. Outside is 24, right? So you're really focusing on nebula now. The nebula rings, the outer rings, the outer rings, the outer rims, okay? So now you understand what 24 is. It's the outline cycle. The inner cycle, inner space, outer space, okay? All right, so in that rotation, tracking locations, 48 line rotations, always have the 24. Okay, and on standby is what? 72. Okay, so this is how it works. 48, 24, 72, 144. That's how it goes. But this stays in position. This is outline. This doesn't come in provision until it's ready. Okay, so, and this takes over 48. 48 basically goes here, and 72 comes in set locations. And again, 144 in set locations. 144 goes into the center operation of your position of program. Okay, so clocking line centers is really understand how to use it through mechanism of center, how to use it through mechanism location of center through your atom. Okay, in set locations to all settings. Okay, all right. You understand that through traction. So now you understand, right? 24 is always in provision. So this is just do that. Okay, and then 48. Okay, now in that locations, you're working with 0. Now, once you understand 0, 0, 1, setting location is what? 0, 0, 1. In position locations, you come into 0, 1, 1. And then you go into 0, 1, 2. And then you go into 0, 1, 3. And then you go into 0, 1, 4. You see what I'm doing? So that's what it is. And then you go through 0, 1, 5. And then you go through 0, 1, 6. And then you go through 0, 1, 7, 0, 1, 8, and 0, 1, 9. And then you go to 0, 20. And then you go into 0, 21, 0, 22, and 0, 23. Okay? So that's what you do. But you have to understand the 48 line settings when it comes in this provision. 48, 40, 40, 40, all the way up to 12. And then you go into 1, and then you go into 2, then you go to 3. Once you get into 12, and then you go into 2. All right, so, try to understand how this all works now through provision. It gets much easier if you try to understand the clocking. So now you understand what 24 is. Okay, 24 is the outer space. Okay, stays the outer space locations. 48 is the inner cycle in set locations. 144 is the travel mechanism, a set location. Right? So it's 24, 48, 72, and 144 in a circle of communication to your flywheel. Right? So the infinity 8 is here, comes into the center position of operation. Right? Sets correlation high center location line systems and travel. Okay? All right. Are we all confused or? So let's start with the 0, 0, 1. Okay? So that's position locations when you come in this cycle. All right? So you work with 0, 1, right? Equals location of 0, 0, 1. What is that? 0 equals 0, 0, 1. What is that? So that's 24 equals 48. Okay, so you're using a provisional line cycle, 0 operation, okay, to 1 ground setting. 1 ground setting right there. Okay, equal connections. So you come into your Merkaba up and your Merkaba down. Okay, and then you come into 2 operation circles. Set locations to center position to its operation and set location. All levels of provision location. And that's just location settings. Just from 0, 1 and 0, 0, 1, 24 into 48. And set location is always, always equal lines of over pi. Okay? Over pi. Okay? So anything underscore, okay, is going direct and redirect. Okay? So that's why you guys are now in fractals. So we understand the calculation, how it comes in clock lines, how it comes in mechas to your infinity 8 cycles, your flywheel, your clocking system inside location, all through 24 outer ring into a 48 inner cycle. Okay. So now you understand what nebula is. What does it mean? It's the outer rings. It's the outer rims of outer space through your clockings. So mechanism of set locations is all levels of provision. Okay. But you really, really, really have to understand how to use it through its design. Okay. So once you get into that provision, you come into pi. Box line equilocation line centers, through waveline weathers, set locations, 3 indicate location settings, all set position travel, set straight location system and travel communication. Right? So you're always working with the seconds, minutes, and hours. Okay, through a 24, through a 48 inner cycle. Okay, so if you're using your clocking, always have the 24 on the outer side, not the inner side. It's not this. Okay, because the 48 is going around. And when it goes into 48, it goes into 72. When it goes into 72, it goes into 144 in the center. Okay, so you're creating the bottom first, right? So once you understand that, then you understand the 3 cycles. 1, 1, 1. Right, so that's 3 operations, 3, 3, 3. Heart, mind, soul. Okay, so I'm adding equations on the 24 cycle of the outer space in inner cycle locations of 48 provision through pi, dimensional sail, through the sun and the moon. Okay, through travel mechanism, line calculation, setting as travel communication. All levels of set location. Okay. Yes, the outer rings. Now you understand the importance of your clockings, right? Your provision cycles are now in fractals. You have to learn how to use that to set location systems down. But see, it's all about understanding how you can start off. You're going up to high calculation modifications, right? So understanding 24 is the outer of everything, right? That is the foundation, graphs. Same with your 12s of your DNA. Okay, so know exactly you're working with the 24. It's 24. Let's go and set location line systems and travel. Okay, always work with the 24. 24 is always outside. Remember that. 48 is always inside. Okay, so when you're working with that, okay, once you understand how to go through the set location of all levels of 001 and 002 and set location of 003. Okay, you can go into 004. Then you go into 005 and then 006. Okay, so and set locations. So right away in the seconds lines, seconds per lines minute per hours is seconds on channel, minutes on program, and hours on clocking. Hours is always on clocking because you're going around the clock. Okay. You don't use the seconds clock line system on seconds per channel. Okay. It's the seconds per line, per minute, per hour. So the hour is the complete cycle of 144 and center rotation and center communication. Okay. So that's what it is. You're always working with 24, 48, 72, and 144. You're never working with a set locations of a set line connections of a 12. It's a half cycle. It's got to be 24. It's that location. But now it's a 48. See how I always put something above? So this is the set location lines. 48 is circle. 72 is this computer. 144 is the center communications to its operation, a set position of travel communication of set location settings. Okay? Very, very powerful stuff. Okay? It's really interesting to look at a one signal through box frame, okay, through triangulation, to a Fibonacci, to two waveline settings of lines into one location. Formula equation, right? So what is the box? What is the box? Box equals what? What is it? What is the box? Sets locations of what? We have to go back to the graph line. In direct set locations, what is the box? Okay. Set location line settings is all set position to its operation. And set location data, right? So know exactly how to use set locations, but I indicated a 4, right? So that's 4 rotation point systems in a 24 cycles. Okay, 24 cycles in outer space. Okay, the inner cycle is set locations into 144. Okay, so you're always working with a 24 graph line of a box location. As long as you have a 24 line, you're fine, but don't add anything through 12 because it confuses anomalies. So indicates high calculations of 4, which is your solar plex of design, which is this location, so setting and track location. See? That's how it's set up. That's how it's set up. Through a 24 of 1, 2, 3, 4. North, west, east, south. Into a diamond core, a set location. Okay. I know it's getting complicated, but you have to understand how this all comes together through 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. 4 panels of 1 over pi. Okay, because you're going forward, right? So recognition of time sequence puts position locations of panels in the set location line setting. Okay, through pi. Okay, sets position locations through pi. Sets position locations through pi. Okay, sets position locations through pi. Okay, all through clocking and set location line system. So 144 is always in the center of travel, which means you're ready to go in position locations to all set line conditions, all line condition. Okay. So how are we doing so far with clocking? Get a little bit more understanding. I can't speed these things up because you won't understand it. It's too much. Right? If I clock line center location in a 24 line measure, set a correlation line and inference locations into 48 line ways, intercycle communications back into 24 lines of outer space, track to its correlation center location in 72 computer frames, position location 144, track to communication line inference of 244, acceleration Mach line 1, clock line centers back to 24. You see what I just did there through travel? Vortex flux, fluctuation. Okay, now that was a fast equation without even thinking. Okay, so we all understand how this all works now. Okay, knowing how to use the zero gravity in 48 all the way up to 12. And then you go to 1, then you go into 2, all the way up to 12, right? So once you do that, then you come into a 72, which is a computer frame, which is totally different than a window frame. You come into the window frame first before you come into the computer frame, because the computer frame is coming into this box frame, which is coming into 144 of its complete frame, which is its GOD. It's geometric operation of design, guys. Okay, so, all right, so how we all doing? So now you understand what nebula is, okay? Ziggy, Nikki, Heather, Gypsy, Danielle, Janelle, Chris, all side locations, the captain, position track lines, Hemdall. Everybody's all confused. Confusion's good. All right. So, captain, die, captain. Captain, I, captain. Captain over pi, die, captain. Same location line connection, the hall of the captain line, case 24 line communication, captain. It's all about understanding how to clock anything through pi. So it's mechanism line calculation and travel. So now you understand what 24 is. Now you understand what 48 is, right? 24 equals the outer rings. Okay? So 24 is always in position of outer rings. Okay? So you're always working with, you never stay with 48 because it's a 24, 48. So you're working with seconds through 24. You're working with seconds through 48. You're working with seconds through 72. And you're working with seconds through 144. So seconds, minutes, and hours in a 4-line setting. So that's 4 equals lines of 4 equal lines of 8. Infinity 8. Okay? Infinity 8 circle. Infinity 8 rotation. Infinity atom line rotation surface. Okay? Through travel, a set location. Into the sun, into the moon, a projection of location. Okay? So, how does everybody feel about that now? They feel a bit more comfortable now because it's about understanding how to balance out your space. Not just the inside, but the outside. Okay? Inner cycle, outer cycle is inside you. So when I say outside, I don't mean outside reality. I'm talking about outer space, higher levels of dimension, higher levels of travel, higher levels of mechanism, higher levels of clocking. That's provision. You're at 144, waiting on cycle. Okay, it's 244. And then you go into 344, waiting on cycle, and then 444, waiting on cycle. All through provision, right? So once you get into 144, you're already done the 24. You're already done the 48. You're already done the 72. Through the seconds, through the minutes, and through the hours. Okay? Any faster sets position of track lines at 3 set locations. Creates higher, faster travel lines. So after 144, your clocking system disappears in set location. Okay? It's going too fast. So that's what it is. And then you come to your platforms. Zero gravity platform. Because you're at 144. Once you're at 144, your frequency is high enough to create dimensional doors. It's that location. Right? Mega multi-pass. So that's what you're doing. You got to stay above the hard deck. You can't be below 10,000. It's got to be poof, above. Everything has to be above the line calculation setting. All right? What is this through track location? What is this? Equals 4. Equals 4. Okay? Solar plex. What's this? Pluto. Roots. Red. Okay? What's this? Fibonacci. 333. Ooh. Right? See how that works? Okay? What is 0? What is 0? And what is 0? Right? 3 zeros indicates flux capacitor. 1, 2, 3. Okay, constellation path, Orion's belt. See how easy it is, the location of structured settings? And this is just the basics. But you have to understand the clockings. All right, so it's very crucial to know exactly what 24 is. This is how you do your clock locations. Okay, so if you're going to do 24 here, you can do this. All right, and then you go 48. Okay, if you're going to do that, equals lines of triangulation. Okay, into set location to one atom and rotation. Okay, so there's a triangulations of 3 sets. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Right, and a 3 triangulation lines of point system. 1, 2, 3, and 3 sets. Okay, all through 24, 48. Right, but see, I don't have to put 24, 48, 72, and 144. It's always at 144 because I know what I'm doing through travel. Okay, so I'm just getting you guys to understand how you want to do that through pi. Is to understand how you use the 24 now. That's how you use it, right? You can do it like this, but if you do it like that, you have to close it up in set location because now you're working with the 48 window frame of box location, right? So these are the things that you can pick up, through pi indicators. So we get a box line and a circle communication. What is that? What is a box? It's the theta, right? Right? It's the theta, right? Theta. Okay. Now, let's bring in 3 communications, 4 lines, 4 boxes. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 equals theta. Okay, see that? But there's a circle in there. So what is that? What's the circle? Pluto. Pluto equals what? Roots. And what's the roots locations of? Red, right? Which is security, right? So you secure this. You don't just secure the box. You secure this, you secure this, you secure this, and you secure that. Okay? Try to understand how to do this information. This is basic. This is A, B's, and C's, guys. Okay? But it's extremely complicated, right? When you actually put it in position to its location of travel through clockings, through 24, 48, 72, and 144. Okay? 4 provisions. 4 equals theta. But if you got a circle here, it's set locations of Pluto. What's the security perimeters? So you're not just protecting this box, you're protecting that box, that box, that box, and that box. You can't just protect this box here and if you have other boxes. What is that? An open signal, open panel, open mic. Everybody comes in line calculation to sonar and set locations. So all intelligence comes in and takes over your formation location. Okay? That is a no-no. Confirmation from the dogs. All right. This is basic structure. Okay? So now you understand the importance and how to use nebula and what nebula is used for through its constellation, how to use it through provision, right? I know, Jips. Now you get a bit understanding why it's so important to balance out your space through your thoughts of seconds, minutes, and hours through your 24, 48, 72, and 144 clocking system. So 24, okay, 48, 72. But the triangulation line system of 144 goes into the center communication. Okay. It doesn't go above the system. It goes into the center. And then 144 comes into 244, 344, and set locations, right? And then you bring in the sun, you bring in the moon, and set location of levels of after projection. Okay? So now you understand the importance, right? Because that's what you're working with through each thought. Each thought has a box frame. Okay? Through 4-point systems. That's theta. That's theta, right? But what are these circles? What are the circles? If I set a box, what are the circles? What are the circles? 1, 2, 3, 4. What are the circles to the box? If the box is set location of theta, what are the circles? Sets position of 1, 2, 3, 4 planet location settings and all position line conditions of 4 waving line calculations. Pluto equals pi. Security measure. Now you understand why you put the points around the box and how it works in set location? Getting a bit of understanding now, right? How to use it through this equation. Okay? Basic, guys, but you have to understand how to use it. So you're going to have a lot more better understanding now how to travel through your space and how fast you should go through acceleration. If you're Maching 1, Mach equals 1 through box, through location triangulation. So that's male, female of you, and circle location. So you really understand how this all works in your provisions. 3 lines, wave lines, 3 line rotation centers, right? 3 graph location screens and set locations, right? Graph and calculation line settings, sonar line rotations into what? Your throat. This is your throat. Okay. If I'm adding lines here, point line conditionalized system, this is your rainbow wash. Okay. So you have to understand the indication of 6 and you have to understand the indication of 9. 6 equals 9 equals over pi in set location. Okay. So that's what I want you guys to understand. How do you see the chronological orders in relation to its image? The basic grounds, guys. How you see yourself through provision. How you see yourself through calculations. How you see yourself through this. Spring, summer, winter, fall, northwest, south, and east. 1, 2, 3, 4. 24, 48, 72, 144 clockings. All through 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. Portal opens up. Okay? So that's 4 of everything. Because your 4 equals lines of 5. 5 equals lines of 2. 2 equals lines of all line conditions 7. 7 equals lines of 1 xt 1000 line string locations. Puts position location on center line rotations into 12 measure correlation setting. So I know it's a lot, Gypsy, but I just want you to understand how to formulate your connections of letters, numbers, shapes, and symbols, because your fractals have to understand the location setting of travel through 24 through all set location of 0, 1 equals lines of 0, 0, 1 in a 48 line graph over pi and set location to its equal eye coordinate setting and track location of clocking. See? Look how powerful it is. I don't want to get too complicated because you guys are in the grounds of 48 in a 24 of an outer cycle. Okay? With a 48 clocking. Okay? Into 0, 0, 1. And set location of 0, 0, 2 and 0, 0, 3. Okay? So when you go around the clock, what's going on? What's going on? 48, 72, 144. Right away. Same location of seconds, minutes, and hours per channel. Per square. Okay? Point systems. Why are you putting the points up? Protect the box. Which is what? Security of 4-point systems locations. All right? So once you understand that, then calculation settings, the sun and the moon comes in projection to protect its location of structure of its design. Okay? Very, very complicated. All through travel. All right? Whoosh. Now you probably have a lot of questions. But that's why I wanted you guys to get into verifications, how to use that, because you're going to get a little bit more understanding, right? So in position locations tomorrow, okay, we're going to go through all line conditions into grounds, okay, of 48, okay, because it's different from 0. 0, 0, 1 is different from 0, 1, 1. Totally different operation. But the same equation, mind travel, set locations of its equation, all through clock locations. So once you get in that provision and you understand your foundation location year 12, everything gets much easier through connection, okay? But it's very powerful, isn't it? Isn't it? Now you understand why it's so important how to use your set location line settings. Setting locations of this. What is this? What is this? What is this? This is a circle. What's a circle? What's the circle? Okay. Going back to the graph location settings, high center inference, sets location system. All levels of set location line settings. What is the circle? Boom. Right? Security. All right. So now we understand what that means. So that's Pluto. What are these 2 points? So in direct location line setting, that's Pluto, equal lines of 2. Okay. You're always putting equal line calculation setting because you're looking above and you're looking below. So you got mechanism line highest center is power over pi. So that equal lines the correlation settings, right? So in that track location, security, perimeters, and parameters. Okay. So you're protecting Pluto in a 2 waving point systems in 1 line communication. Right? Now you can add an indication to all levels of the same location to this, into this location, into this location, into this location. Okay. Get into higher calculation stream locations of centers and high levels of operation. Position locations of calculation outer ring. Anything outer ring of frame is 24. Okay. So now you understand the outer cycles and the inner cycles of all lines of travel communication when it comes into colossal, when it comes into galaxy, when it comes into spin, when it comes into tunnels and land rotation. So you're working with that set locations, right? And then you come out above the system, which is this teleportation unit and set location. There it is. Very powerful stuff, isn't it? Right? So anything outside is 24. Anything inside is 144. Megapass. See, understanding structure is understanding the design through acceleration. Mocking your settings. How to use the outer rings of nebula. Okay? So you're always working with the inner and outer space of you. Mega pass. Okay? All through set location. Okay? So, how does everybody feel about that? More connection in settings. So what is this in set locations? This is 24. Equal lines mocking 6. It's mocking 6, but it's at 24. But it's outside. Anything inside, it's in 144. Right? So 144 comes into what? 244. Then it comes into 344. And then it comes into 444. Okay? So it's going faster inside, right? So when it's going faster inside, what's happening to the outside? It's coming into balance in set location. 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 And what? To an atom set location. Okay? Megapass. That's all this is. Putting provisional lines of 24, 48, 72, and 144 into an atom. Into what? Molecule. Into what? A fractal. Into what? Computer. Okay? Set location. A set design. All right? Okay. We're done. It's like, we're just starting there. We're in the basic rounds. Tomorrow we go into 1 of 48. Right? So in that provisional cycles, you have to really understand how to use it through code. All right, because you're working with a 40 graph line settings. 40 graph equals lines of 8. 40 graph equal lines of 8, right? 40 graphs equal lines of 8 through 10. 40 graphs equal lines of 8 through 10 through 12. 8, 10, 12. But still 48, right? So in seconds, in minutes, and hours. Okay, you have to understand the hour is the complete cycle. Okay, the minutes is the 9 cycle. It's almost there in a 3-line wave, right? So in track locations and settings, so it takes 15 minutes to go from 9 to 12, right? 15 minutes. What is that locations of? 1500. What is that location of? 3 p.m. So, but that's a true understanding. So you don't work with the 12 anymore, only the 24, which is the outer ring. Okay, so now you're working with nebula. Okay, so you're going to see nebula of space, you're going to see nebula of time, you're going to see nebula of universe locations, all calculated and modified in positions to its outer rings. Okay, of set locations to your constellation path. Okay, we get into that tomorrow. All right, see you in 5.